Hi, how are you doing? I hope you're keeping well and that you've not gotten the flu like some of us. Okay, I got the flu, you guys, and it was horrible. I don't know. If you got the flu, I'm so sorry. Pole sana. But anyway, today I am here to talk about letting go of a job, letting go of a friendship, letting go of a relationship, boy-girl relationship, and just how not easy this is, so it's not easy to let go. It's not easy to even tell a person how we feel about them, especially if the feelings are not that positive. All right, so today I wish to talk about why we need to let go, why it's difficult to let go, and how we know when it's time to let go, and also how to let go gracefully, because it's an art that each one of us needs to learn. All right, so if this is the content you'd like to see more often, please like this video and please subscribe and invite your friends to subscribe as well. Karibu sana to my channel. My name is Winnie, and let's dive right in. All right, so letting go is very hard, you guys. Letting go is extremely hard. Why? Because these people are part of our lives, because these people, we've known these people. There's no other world that we know, except these people, the people who've been in our lives. However, let me encourage you about something. When we watch movies, those who watch series, when we watch series, and that favorite cast is not in one episode, or even sometimes in a whole season, that is sometimes what happens to us. We let go so that each one of us can go through different experiences and come back later and reconcile again. But sometimes, sadly, we let go for good. All right, so what would we say are some of the reasons we need to let go? Yeah, number one is when relationships have become toxic and that detrimental to our mental health, especially, we need to release. Okay, the number two reason why we need to let go is that not everyone is meant to be in our lives forever. Okay, sadly, it's not easy, but it's the truth. And then the other reason is we need to let go when relationships have become one-sided. You're the only one feeding in, you're the only one doing, putting in effort and all that. We need to release it. All right, then the other reason that we need to let go is when the other party doesn't want to be in your life. You see, you cannot keep a person who doesn't want to be in your life. So let's say you're in a relationship or a friendship and the other person is ready to release you, or even they've released you. What can you do? You can only release them back. All right, you can only allow them to be released from your life. The other reason why we need to release is to find ourselves. Sometimes the noise of everything can be too loud until you get to a place where we need to be alone. And in these moments, it's okay to release people, especially who you feel they may not be feeding into the season that you'll be going into. Yeah, the other reason we need to also release is you just realize that it's no longer working out. All right, whether it's a relationship with a boy or a girl, or with your friends, or with a job, whatever it is, you just get to a place where you realize that it's no longer working out. All right, that is a good reason. Another good reason that we need to release is when the trust and loyalty is gone. So when the trust and loyalty is gone, most of our friendships are actually based on trust and loyalty. But when you get to a place where trust and loyalty is gone, that's a good reason to release a relationship. Another one is an unhealthy relationship that is affecting you mentally. All right, and that is all the reasons I could come up with, but I'm sure you could find more other reasons in line with this. Yeah, and it is difficult to let go of a relationship. All right, and the reason why it's difficult is because most of us don't want to take responsibility for letting go of a relationship. What if I've made a mistake? What if I shouldn't have released the relationship? I mean, sometimes it's very hard. And the other reason why it's hard, it's because they've been part of our lives, since we were children, since we were in this, season. And sometimes they've been part of a difficult season in our lives. Maybe we got an accident with them, we maneuvered through a very difficult season together, they've given me some financial support, whatever it is. Sometimes we feel guilty over of releasing a relationship. Another reason also is we could have low self-esteem. Yeah, that is a reason. We could have low self-esteem and we just fear conflict, and we just feel guilty over releasing a person. That could be a reason why letting go can be difficult. I'm sure there are other reasons, but that is what I could come up with. And then, so now, how do we know it's time to let go of a relationship or of a situation? Number one, if we get to a place where our needs are not being met. When your needs are not being met, you know, we come to these situations and relationships for a reason, and we all have needs, you know. There are different needs. One day I talk about the needs that we have in relationships, all right? So when our needs are not being met, you know, it's time to release, especially continuously, yeah? And number two is when it's not authentic. So it's not authentic. You just realize that it's not authentic. Maybe one person is pretending, or both of you are pretending. Especially the older you become, the more you realize the need for authentic relationships around you. Number three is the reason how you know when to let go is when you realize that you're staying out of obligation. So you're just in a friendship out of obligation. You're constantly feeling guilty. You're constantly, you know, you think that you have to be there. That's a reason to release, because it means you're doing it out of people pleasing rather than out of something that you really want to do. Then another thing is when there is no loyalty and trust, it's time to release, especially prolonged moments. I know sometimes because we are humans, we wrong each other, and sometimes it's okay that there's no trust and loyalty. But if this is continuous and the relationship is actually, there's nothing, it's time to release, okay? And then the other reason is when you feel broken, depressed, and frustrated by the relationship, it's time to release it. Then inconsistencies in the relationship, you have to release it, okay? Constant inconsistencies, you have to release. Once in a while, it's understandable because we are humans, but constant inconsistencies, then you have to release. And then the other reason, you know, when it's time to let go is, you know, deep down, you know it's time to let go. Deep down, you know, I don't know if you've ever got into a place where you feel deep down, this is not working out. This, I've tried to fix it, I've tried to accept it, I've tried to do everything I could, but it's not working out. We always know deep down in our hearts, and that's how we know it's time to release. All right, so this can only take us to another point where we say, then if there are reasons to release, you know, how then, and we know it's difficult, how then can we release a person gracefully? Okay, I personally believe in releasing people gracefully. There's no need to, you know, shout about it. There's no need to fight about it. There's no need to do anything. You know, sometimes we're humans and sometimes we feel we need to find a negative reason and we fight our way out. No, there's no need to fight your way out. There's only reason to release your way out. All right, so number one is accept that it's time to release. Accept the reasons that you found out that it's time to release your relationship. Of course, that means that you'll have to go through a self-introspection to really find out and to make sure it's time to release. So accept that it is time to release once you have your findings. Number two, remind yourself the reasons why you need to let go. So don't forget the reason why. Even if you feel guilty, remind yourself the reason why you need to let go. And number three, speak about your fears to someone else. Speak about the relationship to someone else. Sometimes it's important to just pass it by someone else so that someone else can validate your point and what you're feeling. Someone you trust, someone who will not, you know, sit down and make a big fuss out of it and, you know, put in their own issues that will make you, you know, make decisions based on them. Actually, you need to make a decision based on you and how you feel. Our realities could be so different. Don't allow also someone to talk you out of it if you feel it's time, especially with no reason, yeah? And then the other way to let go gracefully is to avoid discussing the person in negative light. You know, there are people who, when you go to ask them for advice, they just tell you, yeah, and by the way, they just make it so toxic. Actually, the word is toxic. They make it so toxic that it's hard to even have any valuable discussions. So avoid talking, you know, in a toxic way about the person, because sometimes when it's time, but be honest about it. We're not saying not to be honest. Be honest, but speak about it as someone you've respected, as someone who's been in your life, as someone you love, right? Then the other way to let go gracefully is to establish boundaries with the person. This means that you may not be available as you used to be to them. You may not be able to go to them as you used to. You may not be able to talk to them as you used to. You may not just be able to do so many things with them as you used to, because that shows them something has changed. And I think if something has changed with you and you decided to let go, it's important to also give the other person a chance to do the same, okay? Don't be the person who releases people and you still expect to benefit from them the way you used to, all right? Then address any hard feelings or any bad feelings that come out, because there's a reason. Once you realize this person has never really been happy for you, for example, it's okay for you to release those feelings, you know. And this is where forgiveness comes in. Forgive them even as you're releasing them, and wish them well. All right, bless people, because at some point they were a blessing to your life and they made sure that they were there for you. There was a time, I believe, that some things worked out. So just appreciate the things that worked out and release this person. And then it's okay also, when you're creating boundaries, for you to create physical distance as well, because it helps you to work on your own things. And then the other thing to do to release a person gracefully is to start working on yourself, start taking care of yourself, start understanding who you are and the reason why this person has been maybe in your life for so long and you've not been able to see some of these things. And the other thing is to start looking for others who make you feel fulfilled. Surround yourself with people who mean well for you, people who will not dwell on that past, people who will want to give you the experience you've been looking for, and who will meet the needs that you have that were not met in the previous relationship, for example. And when it comes to dating, I don't mean that you start dating immediately. It's okay, it's okay and even advisable for you to take some time off, but surround yourself with people who feed into you anyway. That is how you take care of yourself. And also address any issues that you may have contributed in the friendship, because, or the relationship, because sometimes we also bring so much baggage into relationships and we tax them. So it's important to also address these matters. And then, of course, get professional help if you need it and when you need it. We all do. I think for me, having gone through so many professional assistance in different forums, in different aspects, I believe in professional help and getting someone else to work with. Have a fantastic time. It was nice sharing this, and I just hope that someone has learned something. And it's okay. Release gracefully. Let go. All the seasons, as we pray, as we ask God to release, we need to be open to release even that which we're not ready to release. And when you're stuck, feel free to ask God for help. It's okay for you to ask for divine help. When you believe in God, you ask God for help, even to maneuver through the difficult seasons. And letting go is a very difficult season. Someone once said that the root of all problems is our inability to let go. So we need to get to a place where we are okay with letting go of certain relationships, realizing who matters and who will not matter anymore and who will always matter. That's okay, all right? Even the Bible talks about being a time for everything. So there's always a time to meet and a time to part. A time to be friends and a time to be enemies. Well, we're not really becoming enemies, but just a time to release, all right? So all this is happening so that we can run a race before us. Sometimes in a race, not many people are meant to be in your race, and that's okay. That's what we are saying in this video. Sometimes for you to be the person that you've always wanted to be, it's okay to release people for them to be, even as you become. So all the best and have a fantastic time, and thank you for subscribing and liking. Remember to share with your loved ones, and let's learn together. Thank you. Bye. Please like, subscribe, and share with your loved ones.